It's been a while since I've been here in this room with you. I think I've played out for the summer concerts for Anne's summer concert series a couple times, but it's good to be back. How are y'all doing today? She said there wasn't going to be a big crowd, and look at this, almost all the seats are taken. Today is the day after Valentine's Day, so I'm going to add a couple of love with a capital L songs in my set today. So, but I don't have any set schedule, so I'm whatever pops into my mind is what I will do. But I will give you this next song in order so that you know a little bit about my background as we get started here. And you can feel free to heckle. I know some people come here precisely to do that, and or ask questions, or I don't know about requests. You could always ask, but I may not know it. I may simply not want to do the song that you want to hear. I'm that kind of guy. Anyway, here's a little bit about me. Now, many years ago, when I was 23, I was married to a widow who was pretty as can be. This widow had a grown-up daughter who had hair of red. My father fell in love with her, and soon the two were wed. That made my dad my son-in-law and changed my very life. Now my daughter was my mother, 'cause she was my father's wife. To complicate the matter, even though it brought me joy, I soon became the father of a bouncing baby boy. Now I'm my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. It sounds funny, I know, but it really is so. I'm my own grandpa. This little baby then became a brother-in-law to Dad, and thus became my uncle, though it made me very sad. For if he was my uncle, then that also made him brother to that widow's grown-up daughter, who of course was my stepmother. Well, father's wife had a son that kept him on the run, and he became my grandchild, 'cause he was my daughter's son. My wife is now my mother's mother, and it makes me blue, because although she is my wife, she's my grandmother too. Now I'm my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. It sounds funny, I know, but it really is so. I'm my own grandpa. Is my grandmother, then I'm her grandchild. Every time I think of it, it nearly drives me wild. For now I have become the strangest case you ever saw. As husband to my own grandmother, I'm my own grandpa. Now I'm my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. It sounds funny, I know, but it really is so. I'm my own grandpa. Thank you very much. Last year, I called up a dinner theater in Illinois, and I said I could come in and do a comedy show, a show of comedy songs. And that was a great idea, and they hired me. The only drawback was that I really didn't have a comedy show at the time, so I endeavored to pad my repertoire with some funny songs, and I even asked some of my musician friends, hey, is there any song that you do that really are, that you like? And a lot of musicians sent me songs that I would never do in a million years, because they're, you know, sexist or politically incorrect, or they talk about fat people or whatever, things you just don't do nowadays. But there's no restrictions against singing about cockroaches. And I haven't done this song since November when I did that show, but we'll see how things go. Looks like I have to put my cheater on for this one. This is an old song by Harry Waller. Called Cockroaches on Parade. Now that it's cold, with winds outside, they need a warm, new place to hide. Inside your walls, under the floor, the cabinet, behind your door. They get a drink, inside your sink. They have a laugh, around your bath. And when you go and turn your back, they like to sneak a little snack. Black flag, decon, indoor sprays, fumigators by the score. Swat them, slap them, hammer them with raid, they come back for more. And in the darkest hour, just before the dawn, you can hear them singing some old love song. They wipe their feet on your lunch meat. They put their hands into your cans, and then they dine upon your wine, and then put scraps into their laps. Well, earlier tonight you hurried up to go on your big date, and in your haste you left a lot of dirty forks and knives and plates. And as you sit here listening to this stupid song, on your kitchen table there's a party going on. And when you get home late tonight, open the door, turn on the light, and you will see your wallpaper change. Those are cockroaches on parade. Okay. You may be getting the idea that all I do is stupid songs like that, but it's not true. Here's a song by a 1970s era singer-songwriter whose name I'm forgetting because, frankly, folks, I'm in with your demographic now and can't remember names. But I can remember songs and chords, and that's what keeps me going. This is called All That We Have Is Now. Good advice for any time. Well, it was springtime when we married. Here comes January. Bring on the ice and storm, 'cause we got love to keep us warm. But don't keep winter waiting. I know, let's go skating. All that we have is now. So let's just play together in whatever weather. Sunshine in the park, we'll tell those stories when it's dark, and laugh to hide the fear and cry a perfect tear. 'Cause all that we have is now. Oh my, my, look at the time fly. Sorry, I really have to run. Oh, I just love being with you. Really, the whole thing was such fun. The sun is going down, there's shadows all around, and I feel more than wine. We must do this again sometime, but I can't tell you when. But what a joy it's been when all that we have is now. But I wanted more somehow. But all that we have is now. That's it. that any song that you know, which I will start to add some that you can feel free to sing along with. I like to have people sing. That includes you, Danny. Oh no, that's all you'd pick up in the microphone if you sang back there, right? That would be a good thing, actually. Oh, give me land, lots of land under starry skies above. Don't fence me in. Let me ride through the wide open country that I love. Don't fence me in. Let me be by myself in the evening breeze. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I ask you please. Don't fence me in, just turn me loose. Let me straddle my old saddle underneath the western sky. On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I see the mountains rise. I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences, gaze at the moon till I lose my senses. I can't look at hobbles and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. Don't fence me in. Don't fence me in. Oh, don't fence me in. Just turn me loose. Let me straddle my old saddle underneath the western skies. On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I see the mountains rise. I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences, gaze at the moon till I lose my senses. I can't look at hobbles and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. Don't fence me in. Don't fence me in. Thank you very much. Here's another one that you will know the words to, so you can sing it with me when I get to the second half of it. The first half is another chorus that was written by a jazz saxophonist, Benny Carter, I believe, during or right after World War II. Anyway, you'll recognize the song once I get going. It was a long time ago, a second lieutenant named Spears returned to the States after being overseas 3 years. His wife said, "Welcome home, dear, but since you've been gone, you see, we've been blessed with this darling baby, and a cute little thing is he." He took that baby in his arms. She said, "Benny is his name." He said, "I've been gone away 3 years, darling, can you please explain? So I won't feel so dumb. Tell me, where did little Benny come from?" Every time he'd ask, she'd say, "Benny's from heaven." He'd get mad, she'd repeatedly say, "Benny's from heaven." So he asked all the neighbors who'd come around. No one could seem to remember Benny coming down. Now about a little thing like that, I wouldn't ask, I wouldn't bother. For one thing I know about there any questions? Just in the few moments I was here before I started playing, I had a chance to catch up with a couple of old friends and checked in. Have you had COVID yet and all this? But anyway, I want to know, is everybody feeling okay today? Yeah. Nobody's got a cold or anything? Huh. Well, it's only a matter of time. So, when that cold comes, here's what you do. So now you have a cold. You didn't do as you were told. You went out without galoshes in the rain. You spent your late nights boozing instead of home a-snoozing. And now you've just begun to feel the pain. The viruses inside of you are multiplying 2 by 2 and dance the Macarena in your brain. Your eyelids thick and droopy, your nose is raw and soupy. You ask for my advice, let me explain. You need to take a acetaminophen or just a little aspirin, acetylsalicylic for the pain. A dose of guaifenesin, plain and simple robitussin to liquefy the mucous membranes. Oxymetazoline or phenopropenalamine to open up the sinuses and such. Then try to recoup with a little chicken soup, call your mother cause it pays to keep in touch. Then try to recoup with a little chicken soup, call your mother cause it pays to keep in touch. That was the sing-along part, so join me the next time. Please. You have tried those new age therapies and herbal homeopathies, high colonic nozzles and the rest. But those echinacea potions and royal jelly lotions have failed to tame the panther in your chest. Those crystal packing druids cannot abate the fluids that drizzle from your nostril to your vest. The answer is plain to see, is found within my pharmacy. So step right up and be my guest. Sing along now. You need to take acetaminophen or just a little aspirin, acetylsalicylic for the pain. A dose of guaifenesin, plain and simple robitussin to liquefy the mucous membranes. Oxymetazoline or phenopropenalamine to open up the sinuses and such. Then try to recoup with a little chicken soup, call your mother cause it pays to keep in touch. What did he say? I was blowing my nose. You need to take acetaminophen or just a little aspirin, acetylsalicylic for the pain. That's also guaifenesin, plain and simple robitussin to liquefy the mucous membranes. Oxymetazoline or phenopropenalamine to open up the sinuses and such. Then try to recoup with a little chicken soup, call your mother cause it pays to keep in touch. I said try to recoup with a little chicken soup, call your mother cause it pays to keep in touch. Thank you for your sympathy. I think I'll need my cheat sheet for this song. I said I was going to do some love songs today because of Valentine's Day. And this song was written several decades ago by a songwriter from Chicago, Michael Peter Smith, who just passed away just a little under 2 years ago. Had the great good fortune to hear him sing a couple of times. Great songwriter, and this is one of his songs that sort of made him famous, certainly in folk circles, if not wider. But and it is a song of real love. It's called "The Dutchman." Oh yeah, now I'm remembering. Dutchman's not the kind of man to keep his thumb jammed in the dam that holds his dreams in. that's a secret only Margaret knows. When Amsterdam is golden in the morning, Margaret brings him breakfast, she believes him. He thinks the tulips bloom beneath the snow. He's mad as he can be. Margaret only sees that sometimes. Sometimes she sees her unborn children in his eyes. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuider Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The Dutchman still wears wooden shoes. His cap and coat are patched with love that Margaret sewed in. Sometimes he thinks he's still in Rotterdam. He watches tugboats down canals and calls out to them when he thinks he knows the captain. Till Margaret comes to take him home again, through unforgiving streets that trip him though she holds his arm. Sometimes he thinks that he's alone and calls her name. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuider Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The windmills whirl the winter in. She winds his muffler tighter, and they sit in the kitchen. Some tea with whiskey keeps away the dew. He sees her for a moment, calls her name. She makes the bed up humming some old love song. She learned it when the tune was very new. He hums a line or two. They hum together in the night. The Dutchman falls asleep and Margaret blows the candle out. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuider Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuider Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Yeah, I'm lucky if I can get through that one without crying. Do you have any questions?
What kind of guitar are you playing?
It's called a Goodall. It's made by a family business, started out in Hawaii. I think they're in San Diego now, Goodall.
My son worked for Bourgeois.
Oh, that's another fancy pants guitar maker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing?
Oh, about 20, 25 minutes. It's hard. It is hard to remember things these days. Isn't it? No, I've been playing. I've been playing for about 52 years. 53 years. First part of that, I wasn't particularly serious. The middle section, I wasn't much more serious. And during in the last 5 years, prior to and certainly during the pandemic, you know, I was talking to Danny earlier, and he said he didn't get to sing much during the pandemic, but I took a different approach. I set up a home studio and started practicing like a fiend, getting back to the stuff I used to do when I was younger, practicing 2 to 4 hours a day. If I might miss a day or two, but there are other days when I'd go 7, 8 hours just playing and singing and took a singing course to, you know, I'd never done any of that. I'd never taken a proper singing course, and I realized that for most of that 50+ years, I was just winging it and doing things wrong. I had bad technique, and so I'm trying to improve stuff. You know? But anyway, so yeah, a long time, decades. All right. Here's a story of an old hard-shelled preacher, sanctified in the blood. And about the time he had the year of the dreadful flood, it rained for 40 days and nights, till at last the dam gave way. Well, the preacher fell down on his knees, and everybody heard him pray. He said, Lord, deliver me from the flood. Lord, you know I'm sanctified, been sanctified in the blood. I've been to the river and I've been baptized. Now I raise my hands to the heavenly skies and say, Lord, deliver me from the flood. Now the preacher's sitting on his old front porch, rocking in his rocking chair. Water's rising step by step, looking at the very top stair. A neighbor come by in a rowboat, said, Preacher, you better come with me. Well, the preacher said, you can save yourself, 'cause the Lord will deliver me. And the Lord will deliver me from the flood. Don't you know I'm sanctified, been sanctified in the blood. I've been to the river and I've been baptized. Now I raise my hands to the heavenly skies and say, Lord, deliver me from the flood. Well, by and by that old river water come rolling the preacher's door. So the preacher, he ran upstairs to his room on the 2nd floor. A Coast Guard cutter come a-sailing by and said, everybody get on board. Well, the preacher stuck his head out of the window, said, I'm trusting in the Lord. The Lord will deliver me from the flood. Lord, you know I'm sanctified, been sanctified in the blood. I've been to the river and I've been baptized. Now I raise my hands to the heavenly skies and say, Lord, deliver me from the flood. Well, the preacher's sitting on his rooftop, hugging to his old smokestack. Water's rising higher and higher, things are looking mighty black. Along come a police helicopter, and they lowered down a line. Well, the preacher, he just waved them away, said, boys, I'm a-doing fine, 'cause the Lord will deliver me from the flood. Don't you know I'm sanctified, been sanctified in the blood. I've been to the river and I've been baptized. Now I raise my hands to the heavenly skies and say, Lord, deliver me from the flood. Now the preacher standing at the pearly gates, his robes was a-dripping wet. The preacher says to the heavenly king, there's something I don't get. He said, Lord, why did you save me? I put all my faith in you. God said, I sent you 2 boats and a helicopter. Well, now what more could I do? Lord will deliver you from the flood. But it'll be too late if you sit and wait for the heavenly angels from above. I'm here to tell you, sister and a brother, the Lord helps them that help one another, and the Lord will deliver you from the flood. Amen. Deliver you from the flood. Amen. Deliver you from the flood. Thanks again for your sympathy. Now I know that there's some country music fans here. I'm going to go way back in country music history and do a song that I like to dedicate to my wife. It was done originally by Ernest Tubb. I got a gal that's different, and though I know she's true, the only time she's happy is when she's got me feeling blue. Still I know my baby loves me in her own peculiar way. I know my baby loves me in her own peculiar way. I lent her my apartment when I was out of town. When I got back, I found that she had burned my building down. Still I know my baby loves me in her own peculiar way. I know my baby loves me in her own peculiar way. She took a class in cooking just to fill my heart with glee, till I detected poison in the cake she baked for me. Till I know my baby loves me in her own peculiar way. I know my baby loves me in her own peculiar way. She went down to the corner just to catch a picture show. She said, I'll see you later, honey. That was 20 years ago. Still I know my baby loves me in her own peculiar way. I know my baby loves me in her own peculiar way. I know my baby loves me in her own peculiar way.
Close to your real life.
Yes. Let's see. I'm gonna see. I need to search my my bank of songs here because I want to do a Johnny Cash song, but I don't want to do. Folsom Prison today. I want to do computers. Huh. I don't think I have it in here.
the old memory banks work. One of my favorite Johnny Cash songs, just because it's so fun to sing. I don't know, and plus I think it's a really great example of creative, imaginative songwriting. I don't know how he came upon this, but he hit a home run with Big River.
I taught the weeping willow how to cry. I showed the clouds how to cover up a clear blue sky. And the tears I cried for that woman gonna flood you, Big River. And I'm gonna sit right here till I die. I met her accidentally in St. Paul, Minnesota. And it tore me up every time I heard her drawl, southern drawl. Then I heard my dream went back downstream, cavorting in Davenport. And I followed you, Big River, when you called. Then you took me to St. Louis later on down the river. A freighter said she'd been here, but she's gone, boy, she's gone. I found her trail in Memphis, but she just walked up the bluff. She raised a few eyebrows and then she went down low. Won't you batter down by Baton Rouge, River Queen, roll it home. Take that woman on down to New Orleans, New Orleans. Go on, I've had enough, dump my blues down in the Gulf. She loves you, Big River, more than me. Now I taught the weeping willow how to cry. I showed the clouds how to cover up a clear blue sky. And the tears I cried for that woman gonna flood you, Big River. And I'm gonna sit right here until I die.
If you feel like singing, there's some nonsense lyrics on this song that you can, nonsense lyrics that punctuate each verse, but no need. Sit back, relax, enjoy your coffee. They're not serving coffee here today, are they? I'll do a couple tunes here from the British Isles. Well, a Scotsman clad in kilt left a bar one evening fair. One could tell by how he walked that he drunk more than his share. He fumbled round until he could no longer keep his feet, then stumbled off into the grass to sleep beside the street. Ring ding diddle diddle I-ri-o, ring ding diddle I-ho. He stumbled off into the grass to sleep beside the street. About that time, two young and lovely girls just happened by. One says to the other with a twinkle in her eye, "Oh, see yon sleeping Scotsman, so strong and handsome built, I wonder if it's true what they don't wear beneath their kilt." Ring ding diddle diddle I-ri-o, ring ring diddly I-ho. I wonder if it's true what they don't wear beneath their kilt. They crept up on that sleeping Scotsman, quiet as could be, lifted up his skirt about an inch so they could see, and there, behold, for them to view, beneath his Scottish skirt, was nothing more than God had graced him with upon his birth. Ring-a-diddle-I-ri-o, ring-a-diddle-I-ho, was nothing more than God had graced him with upon his birth. They marveled for a moment, then they said, "We must be gone. Let's leave a present for our friend before we move along." As a gift they left a blue silk ribbon tied into a bow. Oh, around the bonny star the Scots kilt did lift and show. Ring ding diddle diddle harry-o, ring ding diddle hi-ho. Oh, around the bonny star the Scots kilt did lift and show. Now the Scotsman woke to nature's call and stumbles toward the trees. Behind a bush he lifts his kilt and gawks at what he sees. And in a startled voice he says to what's before his eyes, "Oh lad, I don't know where you've been, but I see you won first prize." Oh lad, I don't know where you've been, but I see you won first prize. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to do a song called "The Princess and the Frog." It is a fairy tale. One day a beautiful princess was walking on the bog. On a slab of peat, who should she meet but Fred the talking frog? "Well, top of the morning to you, lass, hello, hello," cries he. "I'd be glad to know if you'd stop a mo and listen close to me. You see, I've been bewitched, and I'm needing a royal miss, such as your lovely self, to give this ugly mug a kiss. Such a metamorphosis will then ensue, I'll tell you true, for I'm merely a former prince, and I'll straightway marry you. To me rightful, Johnny go daring, higgledy-piggledy, down and around to me high-low, harem and scarum, riding a white horse to Cranberry Town. To me toady-toady, Truman Capote, driving to Sligo with Molly O'Shea for the... Me toady, Truman Capote, driving to Sligo with Molly O'Shea for to dance by the sea with a red cup of tea on a bleary Sunday morning. Well, I've heard that song and that dance before, says the princess. It's all fine, but if it's a kiss you're after, the chances are you'll have to stand in line. There's frogs outside me father's castle, frogs in the royal hall, frogs is climbing up the chimney, frogs is bouncing off the wall, frogs is floating on the moat and up the stairs and on the shelf. If I had to kiss every one of yous, Jesus, there'd be no time for meself. So laddie, let's make it swift, for lately falls the hour, and I'm due back home for me evening shift of pining in the tower. To me rightful, Johnny go darum, higgledy-piggledy, down and around to me high-low, harem and scarum, riding a white horse to Cranberry Town. To me toady, Truman Capote, Nathan Begar, it's Maureen O'Hara, we're driving to Sligo with Molly O'Shea for the dance by the sea with a red cup of tea on a bleary Sunday morning. Well, she's just about to kiss him when Mrs. Frog comes hopping by, crying, "Fred, you're late for supper." "Coming, dear," was his reply. "You mean he's not bewitched?" the princess says. "Just odd," says Mrs. Frog. And into kissing princesses he meets upon the bog. And though I love me Fred, I fear he chafes at family ties. I'd invite you home for supper, me dear, but we only have 2 fries. Thank God you didn't kiss him. This is your lucky day. Till I kissed Fred, I was a princess too, that's how I got this way. To me right, Johnny go darum, higgledy-piggledy, down and around to me high-low, harem and scarum, riding a white horse to Cranberry Town. To me toady, Truman Capote, Nathan Begar, it's Maureen O'Hara, hark to the herald, it's Mary Fitzgerald, we're driving to Sligo with Molly O'Shea for a dance by the sea with a red cup of tea on a bleary Sunday morning. To me toady, Truman Capote, Nathan Begar, it's Maureen O'Hara, hark to the herald, it's Mary Fitzgerald, all in a Volkswagen with Victor McLaughlin, we're driving to Sligo with Molly O'Shea for the dance by the sea with a red cup of tea on a bleary Sunday morning. For the dance by the sea with the Nellis D. Timothy Leary Sunday morning. I I mentioned that I spend a lot of time practicing these days. I'm grateful to have the chance, but it's mostly trying to keep ahead of songs like that with lyrics where you, oh man. I don't know, I can remember the lyrics to songs like that, and I can't remember what I had for breakfast. There was one other tune I wanted to do that I did at my aforementioned comedy show. I'll see if I can pull it up here. I should have kept this one up to practice. I'm going to give it a try anyway, just because I like it. I don't have to worry about the guitar, it's kind of a cappella. I'll say I wrote this note to you. I'm going to move it up a little bit. This is called Why Patty is Not at Work Today. That's the last of my British Isles trilogy. Dear boss, I write this note to you to tell you of my plight. And at the time of writing, I am not a pretty sight. My body is all black and blue, my face a deathly gray. And I hope you'll understand why Patty's not at work today. I was working on the 14th floor, some bricks I had to clear. And throwing them down from such a height was not a good idea. The foreman wasn't very pleased, he was an awful sod. He said I'd have to take them down the ladder with my hod. Well, clearing all those bricks by hand, it seemed so very slow. So I hoisted up a barrel and secured a rope below. But in my haste to do the job, I was too blind to see that a barrel full of building bricks was heavier than me. Well, clearing, so let's see. So I went down and untied the rope, and the barrel fell like lead. And clinging tightly to the rope, I started up instead. I shot up like a rocket, and to my surprise I found that halfway up I met the bloody barrel coming down. The barrel struck my shoulder as to the ground it sped, and when I reached the top I hit the pulley with my head. I still clung on, though numbed and shocked from this almighty blow. Well, the barrel spilled out half its bricks 14 floors below. Now when these bricks had fallen from the barrel to the floor, I then outweighed the barrel, so I started down once more. Still clinging tightly to the rope, I headed for the ground, and I landed on those broken bricks scattered all around. As I lay moaning on the floor, sure I thought I'd passed the worst, but the barrel hit the pulley wheel, that's when the bottom burst. A shower of bricks came down on me, I knew I had no hope. As I was losing consciousness, I let go the bloody rope. The barrel now being heavier, it started down once more, struck across me smartly as I lay there on the floor. It broke 3 ribs in my left arm, and I can only say that I hope you'll understand why Patty's not at work today. Yes. Here's another tune that I learned just for that show, and it's by a couple of local folk music luminaries. They are known, honestly, the world over in folk music circles, and certainly here in the U.S. Lou and Peter Berriman. When I was coming up in music, they were on the scene as well. Got to know them, talked songwriting with them a little bit, and great people, and they're still performing. Anyway, I came across this song by Lou and Peter, and it seems timely. This is called Hard Work and Perseverance. It could be subtitled the Affirmative Action Song, I think. But anyway, it's kind of goofy, but it has a good message. A mama fly, she laid 2 eggs and left them on the floor. An arbitrary breeze arose and blew them out the door. One landed in a parking lot, the other with a splat was blown into the Shangri-La of one decaying cat. Subsequently, they both hatched as maggots, Dick and Doug. And Dick, upon the cat, became a fat and healthy slug. While Doug, he starved and languished on the asphalt where he fell. One day they met, and Doug asked Dick, "How do you do so well?" Hard work and perseverance, grim determination of the soul. I'd say from your appearance, you could use a little self-control. A couple of yellow pencils tumbled off a pencil truck. One careened across the berm and kerplopped in the muck, and very soon was rescued by a hobo and his troop. He was used to alternately stir and scare the stoop. The other pencil bounced into a royal limousine and plunked into the slot that was the cleavage of the queen. His years were spent in splendor, gazing out across the moat. One day he spied his tattered friend and penciled him a note. Hard work and perseverance, grim determination of the soul. I'd say from your appearance, you could use a little self-control. A couple of grapes were lounging segregated from the bunch. A grackle grabbed them both, and then she sneezed and dropped her lunch. One fell down a chimney of a winery below and plopped into the mash that was to be a fine Bordeaux. The other grape had landed on a raisin drying rack, destined for a Danish in a bar in Fond du Lac. Through a fluke they ended up upon the same buffet. The raisin said, "How did you get so fancy, s'il vous plaît?" Hard work and perseverance, grim determination of the soul. I'd say from your appearance, you could use a little self-control. Always be aware of how much luck played into our lives. Give us the kind of lives we've had here. Randomness. I'm not saying you didn't all work hard. You're not very good people, but there are good people everywhere, but not everybody was destined to be born and live in a country like ours and many other solid countries around the world. There's a lot of hardship going on. But anyway, that's a funny way to give people the idea that it's not all of your hard work and perseverance that got you here. I don't know, we're winding down here. Does anybody have any requests? I'll take a request now that it's almost over. I'll come up with something if you don't worry. Do I have any more funny ones? Yeah, I do. Another great songwriter who passed away fairly recently is John Prine. Y'all remember Dear Abby, yeah? Dear Abby, my feet are too long, my hair's falling out, and my rights are all wrong. My friends, they all tell me that they're no friends at all. Won't you write me a letter? Won't you give me a call? Signed, bewildered, you have no complaint. You are what you are, and you ain't what you ain't. So listen up, Buster, and listen up good. Stop wishing for bad luck and knocking on wood. Dear Abby, my fountain pen leaks. My wife hollers at me, and the kids are all freaks. Every side I get up on is the wrong side of bed. If it weren't so expensive, I'd wish I were dead. Signed, unhappy, have no complaint. You are what you are, and you ain't what you ain't. So listen up, Buster, and listen up good. Stop wishing for bad luck and knocking on wood. Dear Abby, you won't believe this, but my stomach makes noises whenever I kiss. My girlfriend tells me that it's all in my head, but my stomach tells me to write you instead. Sign, noisemaker, 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 you have no complaint. You are what you are, and you ain't what you ain't. So listen up, Buster, and listen up good. Stop wishing for bad luck and knocking on wood. Dear Abby, well, I never thought that me and my girlfriend would ever get caught. We were sitting in the backseat just a-shooting the breeze, her hair up in curlers and her pants to her knees. Signed, just married, just married, just married. You have no complaints. You are what you are, and you ain't what you ain't. So listen up, Buster, and listen up good. Stop wishing for bad luck and knocking on wood. Signed, Dear Abby. Listen, I don't know if anybody still has CD players, functioning CD players, but I brought along some CDs to give away. If you would like to take a CD of it was my band's first CD, but it still sounds pretty good. There's some good stuff on it. A lot of country music, some western swing. If you'd like to take a copy with you, please do. If you don't have a CD player, but maybe your sons or daughters do, I know your grandchildren don't, because they are wired in, they are plugged in. But please take a CD with you when you go. I'd be very grateful, and I'd rather have you listen to it for a year and then throw it away as opposed to me just tossing it in the junk right now. Almost every time I do a center like this or a senior facility, I almost always end with this song because it's a good sing-along and I like playing it, and thanks for having me here today. Thanks for coming. My sunshine, my only sunshine, you make me